Hi, my name is Judy Weekly, and I'm using this PowerPoint along with Screencast-O-Matic. I have found that this tool is really great for being able to share thoughts and ideas and even show some signs. Being an American Sign Language teacher, I feel it's really important to have some visual contact with the other person I'm talking with, to be able to show, maybe a sign or things of that nature. So my presentation is on autism and how I can be, as a teacher in the classroom, an agent of social change. And I hope to teach my students how to immerse themselves in the deaf culture. So being a positive agent of social change in my workplace, again, the classroom, because I teach American Sign Language, I really impress upon my students about deaf culture, how to get a person's attention. They learn right away about how to introduce themselves. And if you know sign language, it's important to let the deaf person know that you know sign language, and they may want to engage in a conversation or not. A little bit about what autism is. There's a couple different signs for it. One similar to oppression. And I've also seen it where it's kind of like they box out the ear. They use this for autism, or like an oppression type of autism, meaning the same thing. It could just be an older generation using this sign, or younger students using this one, but I've seen both. And it's when hearing individuals, they might be condescending, or not letting other people know that you know sign language, or if you know sign language and you have a deaf person sitting next to you and you're just talking away and not incorporating, giving them information while the conversation's going on. It's a form of autism. And, the idea of forcing individuals to be a part of the hearing world, forcing them to speak, it's another example of oppression. And I try to teach this to my students, to learn about not having the capacity of hearing, but it doesn't necessarily make it where people who are trying to be involved in our hearing world, it's very doable. So I've experienced people saying, "Oh, well, don't tell them what I'm saying," and it's so rude. And I personally have just said, well, I already said it. I might have already signed whatever was just said. Just, it's not happening. I'm not gonna block individuals who are deaf out of the hearing world for someone else. In closed captioning in public places, that's why you see that now in the airports and things like that. This is a quick little clip I thought would be great to view. It shows 5 examples of autism. So I hope you enjoyed that little clip. It showed you several examples of people just talking over deaf people and how people in the hearing world don't realize. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be intentional. So, we can listen to the radio, get information about bad weather coming in. We're able to drive right up to the drive-through and order our coffee, our food for takeout, and they have to go inside. Also, like moving through the house, being able to have a conversation on your telephone, it's things that we can do and we take for granted as a hearing person, because a person who's deaf, has to use their hands to sign, and like even if they're carrying around their mobile device, using one hand, it can be difficult. We listen to music. Deaf people, some enjoy music, and it's just getting that feeling and the beat and the rhythm. So I try to teach all these things to make it a positive environment for students to feel comfortable, not shy away from having conversation and involving themselves with different cultures. So some of the things I talk to them about is, using some appropriate language, like the word deaf, hard of hearing, because a lot of times you'll hear inappropriately the word hearing impaired. I mean, it's even used on the New York State level, but some are offended because, they'll say, like, well, who says there's something wrong with us? This is the way we were born, and things like that. So I try to go over a whole series of things for students to learn and how to immerse them into this positive environment to incorporate all individuals, really. But in particular, this is about autism, and not to be a person who's showing that. And again, getting them to be involved with the deaf community, understand culture and language, the deaf values, making sure, if you have people over, you have closed captioning on your TV, if somebody comes in, use sign language to the best of your ability. And if you see someone out and about, introduce yourself and just let them know. Ask the person. You let them know, I know sign. Ask them if they're deaf, and that sparks a conversation. They may say yes and then leave, but there's many avenues to just making conversation. It's not that you're trying to take over or do something for them. It's just that's how you can become involved in a positive way. So I thought this quote was kind of neat from Burke. Just talking. Burke quoted this, and Lane had said, the piece in short, autism is the hearing way of dominating, restructuring, and exercising authority over the deaf community. That piece right there, I think, I just wanted to explain a little bit, like we have schools for the deaf. People might think that, you're being told to go to the school for the deaf. I mean, we offer mainstream settings so students can go to a local home-based public school and have an educational interpreter. So just different things like that you might not think of. And so that, again, would be a situation for students to learn how to mingle and interact with other deaf students. And as you can see right here, I have my references. Well, thank you for listening to this PowerPoint. I hope you've learned something about autism and what I'm trying to do in my classrooms and throughout the deaf community, in educating hearing people about autism and trying to make us more involved in not actually creating oppression. Thank you.